Hi, welcome to BBT Broadcast Management Video Journal number 5, where I'll be going over the case study in which we adjust the budget and reduce it from 800,000, where it was actually 856,000. So they were over their budget for that year. We're going to bring that back down to 750,000, and this is how we're going to do it. Let me turn my brightness up a little bit. So here's where we started at. Here's all the salaries. We were about $255,000 in salaries, and it said that we need to give everybody a promotion. The budget pool for the promotion was, or the raise pool, sorry, for the promotion was 1.5%. So that gives us about $3,825 to work with. I cut that down to about $1,912 because obviously we in our media company have had a rough year because of COVID, so we're not going to be able to give everybody their full raise this year. Everybody should understand that. So we just cut it right down the middle in half. So that other $1,900 will be going towards expense inflation cost right here to keep us around $750,000 later on. We'll go over that. So here's everybody's new salary. It's not much. Everybody got a few $100s. It's better than nothing. Obviously we could encourage our employees here. We don't have a big outfit here in the promotions department. Encourage them that after we get through this COVID thing, we're going to be booming. We're going to be doing better than ever, and we're going to give everybody a full raise the next year. So here's a little something. Here's the best we could do to keep things afloat, because we have to get our budget down to $750,000. So I think that was rather than just cutting it out completely. Obviously, we're in the exercise, we weren't allowed to cut it out completely. So I think just cutting it in half was fair. I actually thought about cutting it down to less than that, but I don't think that would have been fair. And here's some interesting things when we're I'm using this as a real life example because I'm just looking at it as if I was a promotion manager or somebody doing this budget as if it's 2021 real life. We're going to have to cut out our software and hardware upgrades. What we have now, assuming it's not already archaic, and we used $30,000 on that last year, so we should be decently up to date. We're going to have to go with what, the hardware and the software that we've been using in 2020 or in 2021. We're going to have to use that next year. That's just something we're going to have to, that's a corner that we're going to have to cut, and we should survive that for 1 year. And we can bump that right back up when we're out of COVID, and we can get our budget back to where we want it to be. But this year, no upgrades on software and hardware unless it's an emergency. We're just going to have to cross that bridge when we get there. Travel, obviously nobody's traveling. Nobody's meeting face to face right now. We got Zoom. It's been working good. So that cut all of our travel out completely. And again, if an emergency occurs and somebody does have to travel, we will cross that bridge when we get there. So that's another zero there. There's 2 that we've cut out completely. Entertainment, again, dinners and stuff like that. That's another thing we're not going to be doing right now. That's an excess. That's a luxury. And we're not meeting face to face with anybody anyways. So, and Zoom is free. So we're going to go ahead and cut the entertainment budget out as well. So that saves us all in all about 41.5 there, right off the top, right off the bat. Not a bad little chunk there to save, especially when we were in excess of about $56K to start. So that brings us back down to where our original $800,000 budget from last year should have been, close to it. Our expense inflation based on these numbers would be around $6,000 for the next year. We're also going to have to figure that into our budget here, so we're not going over again like last year, because I don't think we clearly didn't do a good job of anticipating some of these things from last year. We're just gonna have to cut. We're gonna keep our consumables and supplies. I think that would be unfair to our workers. We gotta have the tools to do the job and just consumables and stuff like that, supplies, then the bare necessities, we're not taking anything from that. We're not going to do anything with that. Publicity, we're just going to have to cut down by a small margin. Just take $10,000 out of that. I know it sucks. I know it makes our jobs harder, but I think we can work with a $40,000 budget in that specific facet there. The big cut's going to come from advertising. It's not as bad as it looks. We're just cutting out about $62,000 from our advertising budget. Again, it sucks, but it's where the majority of our money is spent, so that's going to be the biggest. It's not even, honestly, if you just combine these three things, the travel, entertainment, and software upgrades, it's right there in the same ballpark as those. So it's not even taking the brunt of the impact, and I think advertising is crucial, so I didn't want it to take the brunt of the impact. Therefore, I eliminated these completely. I toyed around with keeping small amounts in these three right here, but it just made more sense to me to, during a COVID year, for us just to eliminate that. And if we did need to pull, we could pull from some of these things. So our new raise pull put us at 1,900. That gives us another 1,900 to work with here. I didn't even throw that in here. That will be our emergency funds if we run into any issues here. So we have $1,900, a little bit over, to play around with here if we run into any issues. That's just sitting in the wing. I think that was a prudent thing to do. So our expense inflation on this will be about 4,800 there. So I left that a little buffer zone there as well. So this really doesn't come up to $750,000. It comes up to about the total salaries plus the total department budget. Sorry, I didn't even put that in there. It's 488,000. No, 488,000. Around $480,000 there. And then our total salary is at $256,000 with the raises, about $257,000. I thought I actually just went ahead and rounded that up, and I meant to do that. So honestly, nothing ridiculously drastic. It's closer to where we should have been last year. We went over, obviously. I could foresee us going over easily if we run into any issues here, but that brings us right up. I mean, we're actually under there. We're under that number right there. So I think that's a reasonable way to get there without hurting anybody too bad right here. Everybody gets a raise. It's not a great one. We're not using number 2 pencils. We're still using our pens and our nice notepads. We got trash bags in the trash can and things like that. We got what we need here. We got our necessities. Obviously, we're going to lose a bit there on publicity. Again, that's just, I could have cut that even more, but I felt like that trumped travel and software and hardware upgrades, especially in 2020. We're not using, or 2021, we're not using anything crazy out of date. We could skip a year on upgrading our hardware and software. Travel, we're not traveling. Entertainment, we're not entertaining. So that puts us where we're supposed to be. I think that was the most rational way to get there. So let me know what you think.